Tell us a little bit about your childhood, and did you do any sports when you were little for fun?
What did I do when I was young and playing sports? Yes, I was out for I graduated from Postville High School. I was out for sports, football, basketball, and baseball. I was the first one to practice and the last one to leave. I never played. I was always part of the support group. That's a very good question. Thank you.
What was your reasoning to join the Navy, and what inspired you to join?
Well, the inspiration came from Halloween on a you asked me a question. How did I get in the Navy and what prompted me to do that? Excuse me. It happened with a Halloween prank in 1966. Some of my friends and I tried to burn a cement bridge. It did not work. So we had to go to court and pay a $112 fine, and three of us that were out of high school had to put our names in the draft. And so we would have been drafted into the Army, and Vietnam was picking up a lot of speed then. So consequently, we chose to join the Navy. And Mick was overweight. My other friend had a broken hip, and so I ended up in the Navy. And it was a very good change in my life. I changed friends, I changed environment, and I also used the Navy then to go on to college, and I got my BA and master's degree in speech pathology.
What was your training like?
What was my training like? My training was boot camp, where we learned how to take care of ourselves, shaving, washing your clothes, drying your clothes, learning to get physically fit. We had a lot of that kind of stuff. I then took a test and was selected to go to Jacksonville, Florida, to be an aviation electrician. So I went to school for 6 months, from roughly August until March, or February, I guess it was. From there, I was transferred from Jacksonville to Pensacola, Florida, where I was attached to a helicopter training squadron for the Navy in Pensacola, Florida, Ellison Field, Ellylson.
What were some missions you completed while in the Navy?
What were some of the missions I completed in the Navy? I was not in Vietnam. I was part of a training unit. We trained all the Marines, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and all the Vietnamese pilots. We had 300 helicopters. When I started, we had the Sikorsky 19s and 34s. Those are the four-blade helicopters. We transitioned in '69 to the Hueys, the two blades that you see a lot of right now. It was every morning we would go in at about 6 o'clock and we'd fly every day, and then we'd come back and work on the planes in the afternoon as an electrician. I had to change the light bulbs or any of those kinds of things. But I was never in Vietnam.
How were you treated when you came home from war?
How was I treated? That's a unique question. One of the experiences I had, I was flying in uniform because we got a discount for doing that. I came to Chicago to the airport and was getting my sea bag, and as I was walking through the terminal area, an individual came up and spit on me and called me a baby killer. I dropped my sea bag. It took 2 steps toward him. A very large individual grabbed me by my neck and held me back and said, "Just leave that alone. You'll be in more trouble than this guy will be." But to answer your question, it was not very good. But again, I don't hold that against it was a situation. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but in 1970, the University of Iowa canceled graduation and classes in April, and so because of the Vietnam protest.
What did you do when you got home from war?
I had a job. What did I do when I got home from the Vietnam War? I got out February 1st of 1970 in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It took me a couple days to get home. I then had a job as an electrician working for bulk milk farm, electrician with a farm. We were transitioning from cans into bulk tanks at that time. and so I had a job as an electrician. I then got married and started college at Mason City Junior College. My grades were not real good in high school, but at least I got into a JUCO. I was able to use my GI Bill to go to NIAC, and then UNI for my BA and master's, and I have a master's in speech pathology.
We understand you have had many unique opportunities. Can you please elaborate on some of those for us?
You're asking me about the unique opportunities that I had. I was very fortunate. In my boot camp, there was 10,000 soldiers for July taken to Soldier Field, and we made what they call a human flag. And we were able to put red, white, and blue over our shoulders, and it was photographed, and it was a celebration of the end of World War I. So 1917 was the end of World War I. 1967 was the 10,000 man salute to that. They did not do it in 2017, I understand. But that was a very fortunate thing, and I'm very proud of that. So, thank you.
If someone were to write your legacy 100 years from now, what would you want it to be?
If someone was to write my legacy 100 years from now, I would say that touching people's lives in a positive manner has been important to me. My wife and I give a scholarship every year in tribute to our mothers for nursing. We've done that for 12 years for Dollars for Scholars. Our mothers were important in our lives. They were school nurses. I also send and give people a program called Seeds of Hope that I've come to do, giving wildflowers, and it has to do with monarch butterflies, and I have a real passion for butterflies. I've done this. We have our farm in a butterfly habitat, and I'm going to give a packet of that to your school, and hopefully you can use that. My legacy, I was not a hero. I've been a sports official for 48 years in college and high school. It has been something I've really enjoyed. I've also got a lot of other people started officiating and take great pride in that. I have never done a state tournament in any of the sports I've done, but many of the people that I've started in officiating have. And that, to me, is the legacy. It's not what you've done, it's what you've done to help others. Excuse me a second. Did that answer your question, sir?
Before they ask the last question, sometimes I give them questions in their ears, but this
Yeah.
is kind of a complicated question, so I'm going to go ahead and ask it for them.
Okay.
And then you can follow the last one, okay? When you were answering your question about why you joined the Navy, it seems like perhaps there might have been a little naughty streak in you when you were younger, right? And so I think a really good question for these kids is to ask you about how important second chances are in your life, and how important it is to surround yourself with people who lift you up. So could you talk to that just a little bit?
It's a unique question. Telling about how maybe I had a naughty streak. I'll just paraphrase it with that. I do think people need second chances. I do think at 18, I was not headed in the right direction. I do think by changing friends, environment, and direction, I also would not be where I am today. I would not have gone to college. I would not have had the experience of the Navy. The Navy taught me respect. And I will tell you this, before I start a ball game, I talk about respect. Respect, self-respect. Respect yourself. Respect your teammates. Respect your coach. Respect my officiating. Respect your parents. You start with your respect, and it emanates. I'm trying to use a big word, and I shouldn't. It will take on a life of its own. I don't know where this is going, but I'll tell you right now, I am proud of what I've done. I have a wonderful family. I have a wonderful support system. a wife of 48 years that allowed me to officiate, that allowed me to do the things, that opened the doors by being supportive. Tomorrow I take my wife to Mayo to support her with her health. That's my legacy. What we do for ourselves, but what we do for others. You can do it too. Just because you make a mistake does not mean it's over. Don't let that stop you. Education. I am so proud of the education I have, and I self-educate. I do not let someone tell me what to do. I research to find my answers for me, not to fit in, but to fit myself. That, to me, is respect, and that's what you can do. And I know you can. I know you're listening to me, and I know you can. You have great eye contact. That's what starts with giving your soul to someone else. Did I answer your question?
Is there anything else you would like to add?
I'm sorry.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anything else you'd like you to ask me? I think this has been just very insightful for me. I hope it has been for you too. But, sometimes somebody says, you should write a book. Even this morning, as I told, excuse me, I'm just very emotional today. When someone said, I'm going over here and I'm going to talk with these students, and said, well, you should write a book about that, or you should write this. And I said, well, I'm kind of busy to sit down and write today, but I do have a passion for reading, and I do read every day. I love James Patterson. I love Dan Brown. I like a lady by the name of Sue Grafton. You ladies would like her. Oh my goodness, is she exciting. But with that, I share books with people too and tell them experiences about things. And I think that's the opportunity I have, or you have, to educate people and make people better around you. It'll help us all. So, what do you want to do when you grow up? Chase?
Me, I would like to do what my dad does,
Okay.
and go to a good college.
Okay.
And now hearing about you, I'd like to be in the Navy too.
Wow. Well, thank you. How about you?
I would like to be a vet when I grow up.
A veterinarian. Great. Good for you. How about you?
I want to be a crime and health analyst statistic.
A what?
A crime and health analyst statistic.
Really? You'll love Patricia Cromwell. Have you ever heard of her? She's a wonderful author about this. She's a forensic.
She's very good, but
Do you like her?
I do. I've read all of her books. But
Oh.
you may be a tish too young. Give yourself a couple years.
Well, I understand. But, man, I am so proud of you guys' ambitions. So I'm going to give you my address. 10 years from today, you're going to write me a letter and see where you are, okay? Would you do that?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be fun? Good luck.
All
Good
right,
luck.
Steve.
Good luck.
Papers
Thank
on
you.
your chair.